You're going to shoot him, Mountie? They'll hunt you to the ends of the earth.
Snowmobiles are frozen dead?
Uh-huh.
He says I'll take a dog sled.
A dog sled? This guy living in this century?
I heard he was going over the pass.
Don't be ridiculous. Nobody makes it over the pass.
Fraser went over the pass.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
It's 50 below out there. I froze coming in from my car.
The guy is certifiable.
Who'd he go after anyway?
You wouldn't believe me.
Who? Somebody's got to tell the chief.
That's the sergeant's job.
Then tell the sergeant.
When I lift this, you jam your hand down there fast. Ready? And
Sergeant.
yeah.
The last time he'll fish over the limit.
And you felt it necessary to go out there and get him now, in the middle of one of the worst storms we've had this year?
Yes, sir.
Fraser, you just tracked a man 300 kilometers because he caught too many fish.
He exceeded the limit by quite a bit, sir.
How much could a man fish over the limit that would justify you recklessly endangering your life and the reputation of this police force?
4.5 tons, sir.
Of fish?
Yes, sir. He was dynamiting the rivers, scooping the salmon off the surface with a backhoe. So I destroyed the plastic explosives, the nitroglycerin, the fragmentary mines, and I then donated the 3.5 truckloads of fish to a local Inuit village. The tribal elder said he would call you with his thanks as soon as their local phone lines were restored.
Sir, there's a tribal elder on the phone for you, and this just came in over the wire.
It's your father.
Time was you could look out that window and see nothing but geese. Thousands of them. That river down there? Beavers used to cover it like a bunch of hairy little ants. The government kind of put them out of business.
Yeah. Everything's changing.
Still don't know what the hell he was doing there. 10 below zero, middle of nowhere.
His logbook?
Closed his last case over a week ago. Should have been catching up in paperwork. But you know your dad. He'd rather freeze his rump off than hug a desk. .30-06 standard hunting ammo. It's the first week of the season. Suddenly every damned idiot wants to kill something. Near as we can tell, he must have caught a stray bullet. Useless damn way to die. Son, every officer in this post spent the last 3 days combing that gulch. If there was evidence of foul play, we would have found it. When was the last time you talked to him?
Christmas.
Well, I guess the more you know someone, less needs to be said.
This is mine. You want meat, Mountie? Go to a supermarket.
You killed him?
Nope.
Seen any hunters come through here?
Yet.
They killed him?
Nah.
Then who?
Nobody. Just drank too much.
Betty, honey, you got milk. Guy brought home a gallon yesterday. Yeah, look in the fridge. I never should have bought the damn thing. Now it's bring milk, bring butter. I'm up at 10,000 feet, and she wants me to stop at a 7-Eleven. A week ago, you say?
It would have been a party of 6.
Brought some nuns up on a retreat. Does that help?
Not unless they were carrying firearms.
You sure they were Americans, eh?
They were all wearing new boots, they were driving a Jeep Wrangler, and they carried big guns.
Americans it is. Now, here you go. A bunch of dentists from Chicago came up for the weekend, killed their limit, and went home early.
Do you have a passenger list?
Yeah. I'll need it back.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Foot powder?
Pet, was it?
You think you can tell me what killed it?
Toss it in the freezer. It'll be a few days.
22 years ago, I came to the Northwest Territories as a corporal. Even then, the name Bob Fraser was spoken with awe among the ranks of the new recruits. It was said that he could track a ghost across sheer ice, and that a young officer would have to move fast and drive hard just to catch his shadow. Many have followed the spirit and traditions of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. A few have embodied them. The name of Sergeant Robert Fraser will always be among them.
To your father, you may not give the angels a moment's peace.
Your dad and I spent too many nights in places like this.
What did they say?
I gave him your list of names, so I'll sign it off so you check them out.
With respect, sir, the Chicago PD is not going to make this a high priority case. No, thank you.
Didn't fall too far from the tree, eh?
I understand that there's an opening at the Chicago consulate.
And you're gonna what? Go charging across the border, frisking sportsmen at random? Ben, man to man, if this really was a murder, I'd like to find whoever did it and show him the view from the end of a rope. But I can't do that, and neither can you. There were 100 hunters out in the woods that day. Most of them from God knows where. You found 6. They will check them out. Let them do their job.
I realize I wouldn't be allowed to work the case, sir, but if I'm in the same city, I can at least check on their progress.
Tell me, Constable, how many years you've been on the force now?
13.
And what was the biggest city you ever worked in?
Moose Jaw.
Yeah. Then you were transferred out after 5 weeks because you couldn't adapt to such an urban lifestyle. You're like your father. Up there in no man's land, there isn't a better cop in the world. But in Chicago, they'd eat you alive within minutes. Sorry.
I understand. But you also understand that nothing is going to stop me from finding my father's killer and bringing him to justice.
Give him the transfer.
Oh, come on, Charlie. You think they're going to let him do anything? I have no jurisdiction.
Chicago PD is going to treat this like any other request. The only way they're going to catch this guy is if he's picked up for a broken taillight and blurts out a spontaneous confession. This was Bob Fraser. Give him the transfer.
Pemmican. Now, if you're still hungry when you finish it, drink water. It expands in your stomach. So they won't operate on your little girl unless you pay them in advance?
Hey, man, without seeing the cash, they won't give you an aspirin.
You promise to pay me back within the week?
Scott is my witness.
Well, I'm afraid all I can give you is $100.
You're going to give a perfect stranger $100? You're kidding.
Son, I never kid about a child's life. Oh, you take it, ma'am. Hi. No. Please.
cares in that nook of the north?
Constable Fraser, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
No kidding. You got a dog?
He's in quarantine.
Shame. You like pigeons.
I don't have much experience with them.
Sarge, want to move along? Shut up, Deets. It's not that they're dirty. It's just that I'm starting to question their loyalty.
I'm looking for an officer assigned to this case number.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna like this fellow. Drop your stuff over there at Gruber. Through those doors, down the hall, third holding cell on your right.
His name?
You can't miss him. Just look for Armani.
Can you read that? Does the label not say Armani? Of course it's original merchandise. A friend of mine just sort of found a truckload sitting on the side of the road.
Isn't this kind of a strange place to do business?
Hey, at least in here you know who you're dealing with, right?
Excuse me. I'm looking for a Detective Armani.
Come on. You mean me? Guard! Okay, who let the Mountie into the holding cell?
I'm sorry, I believe there's an unfortunate confusion over an unfamiliar idiomatic trade name.
What the confusion was down here. We don't bust in on some guy when he's about to take down the biggest operator in the garment district for buying stolen merchandise.
Oh, so you were attempting to sell him a truckload of illegally obtained men's clothing?
That's right.
Isn't that entrapment?
What do you want from me?
I was told that you were in charge of this case.
Ah, yes. The dead Mountie thing, like I couldn't have guessed. Look, I got your list of names in my basket here. The moment I get a chance, I'm gonna go to the computer, pick up the phone, and call you with the information so you can go get your Boy Scout points. Now, is there anything else?
Yes. The dead Mountie was my father. And I would appreciate it if you would check the names while there's still a chance of catching the man who killed him. Oh, and by the way, he's not in the garment business.
What?
Your man in the cell. He had a hole in his shoe. I'm not familiar with your city, but I would assume that a big garment buyer wouldn't be caught dead with a hole in his shoe. So, like you, he is pretending to be someone he's not.
So you want to be a deputy liaison officer, eh?
It was my understanding I already had the position, sir.
No. You're the acting deputy liaison officer. You're on probation. Now, I've read your reports. Nobody's questioning your abilities as a police officer, but this is big city USA, and a consulate office is an entirely different kettle of
fish?
Fish. Do you even know what we do here?
As chief liaison officer, you work closely with the local police and the various arms of the American criminal justice systems and the intelligence community on matters of mutual interest.
Basically, yes. However, the FBI and CIA types are very picky who they cozy up to. You've got to earn their respect. You've got to gain their trust. And at the same time, show them you're nobody's lapdog.
Lapdog, sir?
These are Americans, Fraser. If they think they can walk all over you, they will. It's a delicate balance. You've got to be just as shrewd and cunning and ruthless as they are. And then, being Canadians, we have to be polite.
Polite, sir?
What's the one thing you hear Americans say about Canadians over and over again? They're such nice, polite people. So we use that against them.
I'm not exactly clear as to how we do that, sir.
We let them underestimate us. You'd be surprised the number of people who underestimate me, Fraser.
I don't think so, sir.
How many times I've been at some diplomatic cocktail party when people start to say something and then stop, realizing I'm within hearing distance, and then say, oh, it's just the Canadian. It always works. Though it never quite loses its sting. So, it's a big job with a lot of ground to cover. Do you think you're up to it?
I'll do my best, sir. As to my duties?
Oh, Leanne will give you a full briefing. She takes care of all that stuff. Have you met Constable Brighton? My right arm. She's the best assistant a man could have.
Yes, sir.
You'll give Fraser here a full briefing on all the,
Yes, sir.
And I'll just take the... let's have lunch because...
This is your office.
It's very nice.
This is your desk. This is your phone. This is your Rolodex. This is your tape dispenser. And this is your stapler.
Thank you.
Oh, there's more. This is your pencil sharpener. This is your appointment calendar. This is your combination pencil cup. These are your pencils. And this is your plant.
You know, I can do this.
Are you sure you don't want some help with your computer?
No, I don't want to.
Well, then I'll be out at my desk.
All right, well, I appreciate the,
I want to apologize. That was uncalled for.
Well, I was a little curious.
You see, this was supposed to be my job. I put in 4 years behind that desk out there, getting coffee, running errands, organizing every minute detail of his life. I paid my dues. I'm a cop, Fraser. Picking up dry cleaning just doesn't come naturally.
Well, I didn't...
And then the job opens up, and I'm finally going to get to do something other than show my legs. And it's, well, we're sorry, but we don't think that you're quite ready for the job. Now, we need someone with kayaking experience.
I don't recall that.
No, they didn't say that, Fraser. They didn't have to. They hired you, didn't they? Can I be frank? I have nothing against you personally. I'm sure that you're a very nice person and you're very good at wrestling fur-bearing animals. But I'm going to do everything in my power to have you fired because this is my job. I don't mean to sound like a bitch.
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm not usually like this.
No, I can see that. Perhaps you could tell me, I'm a little bit unclear as to what the job actually entails.
Well, that's the one good thing about this menial job of mine. I hold the duty roster, which means that your job is pretty much whatever I tell you it is.
Where do I start?
Come along, boys. Excuse us.
Hey, what's up? It's you. I didn't recognize you standing there like that. Okay, I acted like a jerk. I didn't realize it was your father. I should have checked into it earlier. I'm sorry. Anyway, you were right about the Goomba in the cell. Now, I dig around and I find out that this guy is internal affairs, trying to nail my butt for illegal entrapment. Can you believe that? This guy's trying to entrap me into entrapping him. Cops. In any case, I figured I owed you one, so here it is. Thanks. Come on, I'm apologizing here. What else do you want from me? You're kidding, right? This is your job? This is like your real job? Do you believe it? This is his job. They actually pay people to do this in Canada. Sorry. Anyway, I checked into that list of names for you, and I come up with something that might be something, so we should talk. Put me on, right? Okay, you just let me know when you get off, and I'll come back. You got a break coming up soon or something? I'm talking to a corpse here. Oh. So I called the American Dental Association, and everyone on your list comes up as members. Only one of them, this Dr. Lawrence Medley, isn't current with his dues. So I called the last number they have on the guy, and the nurse says he can't come to the phone, seeing that he's been dead for 12 years. This makes me curious.
Only takes an extra second to be courteous. After you, man. Oh, after you, sir.
Are we gonna get on or what? Well, my bet is there ain't a lot of high-speed chases in Canada, huh?
I'd actually never met him. He called and said he'd heard about our annual hunting trip and asked if he could come along. Harry Prentice, periodontist. He usually comes with, but this year he had that accident, so let me take a look here. Ah, there he is. Yeah, Larry Medley. He's the one in the corner. And I believe that's the only one I got of him. Yep. For some reason, he was never around when we were taking pictures. Not much of a hunter, though. He didn't shoot a thing. I came home with that big fella right there.
So how do you know him?
I don't. I never said I did. I just have this feeling that I've seen him before.
You recognized his face?
Not so much his face as his nose.
His nose?
Yeah, it's like I have this ability. Everyone's nose is distinctive. No two people have exactly the same nose. I just have this thing where I never forget a nose. Call it a gift, huh? You know how to type?
100 words a minute. Why?
June 86, I'm walking a beat. I get a call on this domestic violence case. Very, very messy. The guy has his wife's arm in a car door, and he's slamming it and slamming it. Now, when I see the guy in the photo, I flash on this guy's nose. That's the puppy, Frankie Drake. What do you think?
It's exactly the same nose.
What did I tell you? Now, it's stuck in my mind because Homicide had been trying to nail him for a mob hit.
He's a hired killer?
Well, I don't think he hunts for relaxation, Fraser. Now, someone wanted your dad out of the way enough to import a professional. You have any idea why?
No. Do you have an address?
Yeah, but it's not worth the cab fare to check. He'd have been long gone by now.
But you have an idea.
One lead, okay? I'm gonna follow up one lead and that's it, because I don't have time to make a career of this case. And getting my name in some Yukon Gazette ain't gonna do bupkis for my career, you understand?
I understand.
Good. Now mush, yeehaw, or whatever you Canadians say.
Where are we going?
There's this place I know where a lot of heavyweights hang out. Kind of people who can reach out and touch somebody like Frank. Now, I've been working it for months, you know, hanging out, fitting in. They think I'm complete scum. And down here, your reputation is everything. Where the hell did I leave my car?
32 degrees south.
Right. What's your first name anyway? I mean, I can't keep calling you Frazier.
Benton.
So what's your first name?
Benton.
Do you have a first name?
Can we make a stop on the way?
Sure.
He's on me. He's getting intimate with me. Did you see him? He was getting intimate with me.
He's usually much better behaved. He's just excited to be out of that quarantine cage.
You want to tell him to get off of me?
Diefenbaker.
Oh, yeah, he's very well trained.
Well, he is, actually. He's just deaf. And he's facing the wrong way, so you just tell him yourself.
I'm not real good with dogs.
Actually, he's more of a wolf.
Wolf!
Just try to enunciate.
Get off me!
Sorry.
There is a deaf wolf in my back seat.
Yes. 2 years ago, he jumped off an ice floe into Prince Rupert Sound and pulled me out. And his eardrums burst from the cold.
Really? I didn't know wolves saved lives.
Well, he doesn't always. I mean, he'll save you if he sees you.
Oh, great. Now, you won't find this on most of your tourist maps. And I wouldn't go walking around here by yourself.
Really?
Trust me on this, will you? That's the joint.
Now just tell him to stay here and not to eat anything with an emblem on it, all right? Stay here. He reads lips?
I've never been sure. If so, he's self-taught. Evening. Excuse me, my friend here tells me that this isn't a very good neighborhood, so I wonder if you would mind watching a car for us. Absolutely. Thank you. I just asked them to watch the car.
I think they were already watching it. Whoa, Red. We can't just go marching in there. I have a history with these people. They think that I'm one of them. Do you understand?
Ah, so you want me to blend into the crowd?
You have a hat line embedded in your forehead.
Well, perhaps if we identified ourselves and then questioned them directly, they'd cooperate.
And what would make them do that?
Their basic respect for the law.
I think we're going to do this my way. Now, why don't you just stand here and pretend that you're a fire hydrant or something?
And if you get into trouble?
I'll do a moose call.
Did I not tell you to stay in the car? Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, Chuck, how's it going? You still single?
Life's a bitch, huh? Listen, do me a favor. I'm looking for a friend of mine.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, Vecchio. You got no friends here.
Ah, come on, Chuck. I got nothing but friends. Everybody likes me. I do business with everybody. Hey, how's it going, man? And, I'd like to do a little business with Frankie Drake. You seen him around?
You know, Vecchio, it's the strangest thing. Every time I introduce you to someone, cops appear. I had some unreliable people working for me, Chuck.
It happens. What can I say?
I don't know. Use your imagination.
Hey, what the hell is going on?
You've been made, man.
Oh, come on. Just because I carry a gun, does that make me a cop? Okay. Now, maybe I offended some of you guys, but, I know. Let me make it up to you. I'll give $500 to anybody who knows what a moose sounds like.
Excuse me. Can I have your attention, please? Thank you. Anyone carrying illegal weapons, if you would place them on the bar, you are under arrest. You realize I'm going to have to confiscate that.
Hey, Dudley Do-Right. You got no jurisdiction here.
Now, that is true, son. However, this gentleman does. Ray, would you be so good as to show them your ID? And now, if you will all just step back, Detective Vecchio and I will collect your weapons.
You'll be asking too much to show us your gun.
No, not at all. I carry a standard .38 caliber Smith & Wesson service revolver. Without a local license, I am not permitted to use it, and that is why it's empty. Thank you. Thank you. You're a good citizen.
Okay, weapons on the bar. You heard the man. You, dudes, you on the bar. Don't even think about it, Scarface.
Thank you. I'll be back for those.
Yo, Batman! Carries an unloaded gun. Would I carry an unloaded gun? Would anybody I know carry an unloaded gun? What do they shoot people with in Canada? Serviettes? Does the word bullets mean anything to you?
think we're on the right track.
Francis Drake. Yeah, like the Explorer. Never heard that one before. Guess who? Well, I thought you said there weren't going to be any complications. Yeah, big one. And it's wearing a hat. No, I'll take care of him myself, but I'm afraid there'll be an additional charge. Oh, yes, sir. My pleasure.
One solid oak bar, 16 tables, 12 chairs, one etched mirror, 6x9, one antique pool table, 2 doors, 32 bottles of liquor, and a Pabst Blue Ribbon neon clock. Does this seem like a fairly accurate list of the damages, Detective Vecchio?
I don't believe the pool table is an antique, sir.
Oh, well, we'll never know, will we? Because all that's left is this bag of felt.
I sought refuge behind the item in question when the suspect pointed a shotgun in my direction and fired repeatedly, sir.
The suspect. I'm glad we got around to that because I would hate to think that we're responsible for all this damage without a very good reason. You say you identified him by his nose?
Yes, sir.
He didn't say something about his nose, causing him to fire repeatedly into the bar?
No, sir.
You just felt that his nose was so offensive that you decided to pursue and arrest him.
Captain, the suspect is a known felon, and you see, I had this hunch that
You
maybe...
had a hunch. A hunch. And you coupled your hunch with your positive identification of his nose. And this was the basis for your investigation. An investigation which resulted in injury to 7 people. 3 with gunshot wounds, 2 with broken limbs, 1 hospitalized with a concussion, and 1 who claims to have been bitten by a wolf.
The wolf was just trying to help, sir.
They usually are.
If I could say something, sir?
Well, of course you can, young man. I'm not sure exactly how a Mountie fits into this case, but I like to keep an open mind.
It was at my urging Detective Vecchio went to the bar.
Ah, so it wasn't just a hunch about a nose. You went there at the urging of a Mountie. Detective, how many open, unsolved crimes are on your desk right now?
41.
And how about you, Constable Fraser? How many open, unsolved cases are you working on right now?
1, sir.
1. Then, as intrigued as I am by this case, let me suggest that you go back to your desk and you pick up any one of those open 41 files and you put your nose into it and you keep it there until you have an epiphany.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll write up a report. I'm sure he'll see this was all my responsibility. Yeah, thanks. You leave this number for a doctor somebody? He called. So it says. May I?
Coroner's office.
It's Constable Fraser.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to put this thing in the mail to you. I did that autopsy on that caribou you dropped off.
It drowned.
I'm sorry?
Drowned.
Lungs were full of water. That do anything for you?
It drank too much.
Yeah, it's another way of looking at it. I'll mail you the report.
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
Explanation.
100 yards from where my father died, I found the carcasses of several dozen caribou. The coroner says they drowned.
And I thought they were such great swimmers.
They didn't have to be. They drowned on dry land. For the call. I appreciate you putting yourself out for me.
Taxi?
You know, we even heard about your father down here. He was quite the man.
Yes, he was a great man. Walk her to her door.
This is Canadian.
So is she.
January 1969. I tracked McClay up the Chilkoot Pass. I found him at the top, half a mile from the border. His ankle was broken, his ammunition spent. He just sat, staring at the horizon. I took his rifle without a struggle. All he said was, "Don't tell my son," and then he jumped. The man was falling to his death, and all he cared about was how his son would remember him. I buried him there this morning. I'll tell Gerard he got away from me. The last time I saw Ben, he was barely tall enough to reach my belt. When I said goodbye, he shook my hand. Never a tear or a complaint. 7 years old. He's already a stronger man than I'll ever be. Someday I'll tell him.
You know, I started thinking when you left.
You solved all 41 cases?
Yeah, well, I got restless. I made a few calls. Truth? I checked every snitch I ever knew. No one's talking. No one knows Drake. No one wants to know me. What's this?
It's my father's journal. I was just reading.
Looking for something you missed?
Yeah.
1969? You're going back a ways. You find anything?
I don't know.
Look, I know how you must feel. I mean, if it was my old man, well, if it was my old man, I'd be the last person he'd want in the case. He pretty much thought that I screwed up everything I ever touched. You know, he's been dead for 5 years now, and I still feel like I'm trying to prove myself to him. Your father wanted you to be a cop.
I don't know. All these years, I can't remember him ever asking me to do anything for him. Not one thing. This is the only time he's ever needed my help.
You got any other family?
No.
Well, I'm gonna show you why you're a lucky man. Come on.
Maria, you are not getting an annulment.
Ma, how can you say that? The man is an animal.
You're among friends. Use your fingers.
Ma,
Yes, ma'am.
he's a beast.
A man who buys his wife a leopard print housecoat is no beast.
For an anniversary present, 5 years we've been together. All he can come up with is a used house coat.
It was not used. The guy just happened to sell lingerie out of the trunk.
Make any sense out of the dead caribou?
No.
Divorced you? Francesca, you stay out of this.
Is it always like this?
You want
It's okay. They only attack the ones they love.
I'll tell you.
Don't you call her, Ma. And get your own polenta. You ate it all.
She's still my mother-in-law, and I'll call her what I like. Understand?
All right, stop the arguing. I'll get the food.
No, Ma, don't touch the polenta. He can get his own.
Here's my husband. I will tell him not to get the polenta.
Well, maybe you should tell him not to get the polenta.
Perhaps I could get the polenta.
Could you bring the pan, please?
It's very nice. So polite.
He's Canadian, Ma.
Oh, I thought he was sick or something.
Is he married? What?
Ray, polenta?
Sort of like a yellow pemmican.
At least my husband never yelled at the dinner table.
Maybe because he wasn't around long enough to have a full meal.
Oh, no, nummy.
He broke her arm.
He did?
I found the polenta.
We gotta go.
I'll get my hat.
Who broke whose arm? Drake, he broke his wife's arm.
Oh, well, of course he did. He's a man, isn't he? Oh, all men are evil just because you can't keep one. Oh,
Now, we find the ex-wife, we find Drake. This is a woman who'd love to see him behind bars.
Okay, you okay?
Thanks for dinner.
Oh, you hardly ate a thing. Wait, I'll wrap it up.
It was very nice to meet you. Maybe next time you can bring your girlfriend.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't.
Oh, really?
Ramando! Grazie.
Come si bella, come si bella, come si bella.
It's dark.
Yeah, driver's license says she still lives here. Now watch what you say to her. You don't want to spook her. And take your leave from me. You gotta know how to play these people. What are you doing? Put that down. You don't know where that's been. Oh, no, that is disgusting. Put that down. Don't do that. God, that is disgusting.
I'm sorry.
Can I take you anywhere? Mrs. Drake, police, may we come in? Thank you.
You warrant. Hey, my kid is sleeping.
We're looking for your husband, Mrs. Drake.
Oh, we're divorced. He doesn't live here. Now get out of my house.
But you know where he is.
Yeah, we exchanged love letters. I don't see him. I don't speak to him. Now get out of my house.
Come on, you don't want us taking you in, waking up the kid, right? Now, has he seen his father?
Get out. Get out of my house.
Ma'am, we're sorry to disturb you. We won't keep you any longer. Let's go.
What?
Ray.
Great. You know, maybe we should have had tea on your Chesterfield instead.
I'm sorry. Oh, Mrs. Drake, when your husband was here this afternoon, did he threaten you?
I haven't seen him, okay?
We can protect you.
He's in Chinatown. Don't think you can just arrest him. You killed that son of a bitch.
Okay, it was the mud, right? You knew it came off his shoe because when you sniffed it, it smelled like mud. I mean, what else does mud smell like?
Perhaps something that was on the floor of the bar.
Wood? No, beer. and maybe peanut shells. And when you tasted it, which, by the way, I can't believe you put that in your mouth, you tasted the salt from the peanut shells and knew that he had been here, right?
Wrong. I guessed. I had a hunch.
No. You don't have hunches. I have hunches.
I had one of your hunches, Ray. Felt good.
And what was with the mud? You put mud in your mouth.
Ray, she was looking out the window. Now, I simply made her believe that I'd found something.
You made her believe that you were a mud eater. I can't believe I'm sitting in the same car with you.
Where's this address?
Why? What are you gonna do? Tell him to surrender? You're gonna eat something off the curb?
Very convincing. Now, let's put you and your mama to bed, huh?
One 700 Franklin, one officer on the scene, and tell him not to shoot the guy in the hat.
Backup's on the way.
So where you from? Is this a good time to be discussing this?
Come on, we're two friends out for a walk. Where you from?
Well, I grew up with my grandparents in Inuvik.
Really? Is that downtown Inuvik or more the outskirts?
More the outskirts. Then when I was 8, we moved to Alert, and after that, Tuk to Yuktuk.
Ah, let me guess, your grandparents were what, nomadic glacier farmers?
Librarians. Do we have a warrant?
Practically. This is a man who doesn't know how to spend his money. You know, Ray. Ranger!
I think this was a big mistake.
Yeah.
I screwed up. I'm sorry.
Don't.
Yeah.
Ben? You were supposed to work through the police. You had no right to be in that apartment or working this case. You'll have to come back with me. There'll be a fitness board hearing.
I did what I could.
I know.
I'll get the car.
I'm sorry.
Diefenbaker.
Oh, I'll get him through quarantine. I'll have him back up north before you are.
Thank you.
You know what I was just thinking about? The first time I met your father. We were standing out for inspection. He had one boot on. Sergeant looks down at his feet and says,
You okay? I am making a citizen's arrest.
I'll take over.
I got him.
No, I got him.
he reached for his knife.
There was no knife.
The man killed your father. He was reaching for his knife. We both saw him.
RCMP.
This used to be a feeding ground for thousands of caribou. They lived off the land, and so did we. So the water came. They said it wouldn't change anything. But now some nights, the rivers run backward. Land becomes an ocean, and the caribou die. And in the morning, the ocean is gone. All back here, neat and tidy.
Why haven't you told someone?
Told your father. He didn't do anything. Neither will you.
He knew what they were doing at the dam.
Most people around here did. But they earn their livings off it. People want homes, jobs. You know how much money this dam brought into this community? How many people would be hurt if they shut it down? Progress is its price.
And what was yours? They paid you to keep quiet about it. He was going to turn you in. That's what I'm going to do.
I wasn't the only one they paid. He gave his whole life to the people up here. And all he ended up with was that shack of his. He wanted to buy a little piece of land up there someplace. Do you blame him? Can you see your dad stuck in some government retirement home? Not likely. It wasn't easy to convince him to take the money, but he finally did.
This is just a piece of paper.
It didn't start off as such a big thing. They built the damn thing wrong. It can't hold that much water. So you twist a valve here, press a button there, you let out a little. Only it turned out to be more than a little. And they had to keep doing it. I think when he saw what they were doing to the land, he just couldn't live with it. He wanted out. They wanted me to do it. I couldn't. I made the call.
He was your friend. You son of a bitch.
Yes, he was. Your father was a great man. A hell of a lot better man than me. And now he's only got one thing left. His reputation. Arrest me and you take away the only thing he lived for. It's your call. Check the bank. It's all there. I'm sorry.
The enormous prosperity which Phase 1 of our operation has brought to this region will be more than doubled by Phase 2. A facility which will not only boom the economy of this unique community, but which will, when completed, provide vital hydroelectric power for the people and industries of most of the eastern seaboard. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pride, I give you Phase 2.
Well, he won't cause any trouble.
Good, because I hate to see a perfectly good career go to waste.
Yours or mine?
This time, do it right.
You ever think about getting a phone? We use them quite a bit in the States now. Maybe you've seen the commercials for them?
Ray?
Go ahead, shoot. Be a hell of a lot easier than getting out of this snowsuit.
Are you supposed to be out of the hospital?
Figured out who did it. I was lying there, and I just kept going over and over it in my head. If Drake didn't have a phone in his apartment, how did he do business? So I check out the payphone at the bar we busted up. One call to Canada, a number in this area code. You know what he called?
Gerard.
Exactly. You knew?
Yes.
You couldn't have called and told me this?
I'm sorry.
Drop me a postcard saying, hi, I solved the case?
My mistake.
Don't bother crawling out of your deathbed and flying up to the armpit of the frozen north. I figured out who did it.
Can I help you get out of that?
Just point me to the John.
Well,
So, we got some fishing rods, a rifle last used by Chuck Connors, and a bag of rice. So what's your plan?
we wait for them to come.
Yeah, and?
And then we arrest them.
You see, that's such a simple plan that the American mind automatically tends to discount it. So let me run it back to you. We wait here. Gerard and God knows who else comes. Sometime when? We're not sure. And then, when we least expect it, they shoot us dead with automatic weapons. Any part I left out?
Yes. I need Gerard alive to testify, so we can't kill him.
Oh, I don't think we're in any danger of doing that.
When I graduated from the academy, my father gave me one piece of advice. He said, always... No. He said, never... Well, actually, he gave me two pieces of advice. I've forgotten the other one, but the important one is, never chase a man over a cliff.
That's supposed to mean something in Canadian, isn't it?
If you're going to take on a man, you better know more than he does. Our strength is, I know this area better than anyone. Their weakness is, they think they have an advantage.
Let me see that bag. Being an American, I also know where my strength lies, and that's in being as heavily armed as possible at all times. It's all completely legal, I swear to you.
Time to feed the troops.
Let's go. I don't have time to argue.
Okay, girls.
Diefenbaker? What are you doing, huh? Come on. You okay? They're here.
Getting knocked.
This way.
We're taking the sled.
With dogs?
Go, go, go!
Push! Push! Yeah! Push! Go!
Okay, guys.
Use that! How?
Hang on!
Whoa, what's the arm?
Hill.
Hang on! Oh. Cool.
Obviously, your father never gave you that piece of advice.
It's over, Gerard. You can't cover this one up. You shoot me, and they'll hunt you to the ends of the earth.
Sorry. Thought he was a caribou. So many hunting accidents around here.
Hold on, Diefenbaker. We'll get you fixed up. Open your eyes. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I said, hold on. You never listen.
Help me put him on the sled.
No. We'll come back for him later.
Okay, guys.
You know, we just took out 7 guys. One more and you qualify for American citizenship.
In a stunning setback for the defense, Gerard pleaded guilty today and agreed to testify against his co-defendant. Now, while attempting to distance itself from the murder trial, the new government was quick to deny any wrongdoing at its East Bay power plant, maintaining that 10,000 caribou drowned in the forest as a result of a series of freak natural occurrences. Phase 2 of the project, scheduled to begin construction this year, will flood a wilderness area the size of Germany. Shelley Perry, Channel 6 News.
You didn't make a lot of friends today. There's no record of your father making any withdrawals. None of the deposits were made in person. People will believe what they want to believe. I know what I do.
I appreciate that, sir.
I talked to the super at your last job. He suggested transferring you further north.
Well, that would put me in Russia, sir.
Seems like the only people that do want you are in Chicago. If I were you, I'd make do until things calm down.
How long will that be?
You turned in one of your own. It's not right.
Thanks for trying, sir.
Everyone says he was the last of a breed. It's not true. You are.
I'm not carrying you. I'm not.
All right.
Just don't get comfortable.
Listen, I just want to know if you can really smell what's in mud, because I've been following this guy. Are you listening to me? I can't believe it. I get my ass blown off you and you won't even nod? Okay. How about winking? Winking is against the law?
When he gets off work, could you give him this? This is 100 he lent me.
Directions on this map, but you're only going one way. Due south, that's the way I'm going. Due south. Saddle up my traveling shoes, I'm bound to walk away these blues. Due south.
Ha 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 ha!